Okay, the recording is in progress and welcome everybody. Today is February 28th, 2022, and this is the meeting of the Sconset Advisory Board. Remind everybody that we're being recorded and this is a Zoom meeting and the agenda is on your screens. I'm hoping and guessing.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me do a roll call here. Let's see, participants, when I call your name, please answer. Angus McLeod.
Here.
Thank you. Clement Durkis.
Here.
Thank you. Mary Lathrop Will, I do not think is here. And Caroline Ellis is not here, but I declare we have a quorum. And with that, I'll take a motion for the adoption of the agenda as shown.
So
So
moved.
moved.
I hear a motion and a second, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. And I guess that takes us directly to item number 1, which is 16 Baxter Road. And let's see. Okay, this is Westbrook and it's an application for rooftop solar. And can you confirm that you're seeing that on your screens?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Yeah, so there we are. Hang on one sec. I have a new browser here, so there's the house. There's Overlock to the north. What used to be the suites to the west. Okay. Here are some views of the house. Straight into the sun. Appears to be on the west facing roof line. Roof plane.
So if you're talking about an orientation from Baxter, it's on the back of the house.
On the back of the
Yes.
house. Yes.
So the only people that will see it are the people even further west of them.
Yeah.
I think that's the Kip and the Martins.
The Martins, yeah. Who bought the suite property.
Yeah. And redid that little house back there. So
What's the, I guess there aren't any photos that are looking from the southwest at a diagonal towards that roof plane?
no,
Nope.
they're not on the corner. I mean, you'd have to be on somebody else's property to take a picture of the west roof line.
So you can't see it diagonally from Rose.
No,
Rosalie?
no, because I mean, that's the Martins' house, isn't it? Next to,
Yeah.
If you go back to the site plan or the up top there, I'm looking at the top left corner. It looks like there's a big opening space where it says Rosalie. Well,
Ooh.
is
Oh,
there not
yeah.
is there not a view that way from like the R or the O or the S of Rosalie?
Mm,
Yeah, there might be.
Well, I'm
Yeah, I
certainly
mean,
in favor of solar happening, whenever and wherever it can happen, as long as it's not, really visible.
Yeah,
It'd be great to have that perspective.
yeah.
As far as
yeah.
Baxter is concerned, it doesn't seem like it's really visible, so.
I don't think it's visible at all from Baxter Road. The interesting thing is, the Pagans up the street on Baxter have solar panels on their south and west roof line, and they are visible. They were passed by HDC. You can see when you look from Baxter Road, you can see a little, the little line up there where the panels are. I'm not opposed to this unless it's egregious.
Yeah. Nice if they took that angle though.
Yeah, that would be good. Would have been good.
Um,
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Hi, it's Mary Bergman.
Hi, Mary Bergman.
Hi, everyone. I'll turn my little camera on.
Mary.
I'm looking at the GIS and it kind of looks like there's a tree at the corner of that lot. Or I'm not looking at GIS, I'm looking at Google Maps, excuse me. And I wonder if that, I agree with you that it would have been
Oh, right here.
good to have that view, but I wonder how does that tree factor in as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good catch, Mary. That's a big tree.
It's definitely a shallow roof pitch.
Yeah.
I used to just think, okay, there's a tree. It makes me think about King Street and there being huge old trees that just all went away.
Fair enough.
And opened up vistas that I never imagined would be opened. So I think we have to keep all that in mind.
Yeah, to that point, I feel like all these trees are the same age and they're all going to be coming down because they're old.
One storm at a time, like the one at the bus stop in the square.
Yeah, they're trying to save that tree, I just heard. Even though it could take out a lot.
Can we just say that we don't have any concerns, but except for that one perspective, and it would be nice to have a picture of that view as well?
So noted. Already written it down. So that'd be great.
Yeah,
Okay.
it states there, they will not be visible from any public way, but we don't know that for a fact.
Okay. Moving on then to number 2, 10 Hydrangea. And I'm going to try to. Are you seeing this?
Yes,
Okay, it's moving. Okay, that's an old fax machine, huh? Okay, here we are. Just for the record, this is 10 Hydrangea Lane for rooftop solar. And if I may, I'm just going to throw in the picture I took. Just happened to be on a walk yesterday. And that's the view, if you can see that. It's one of those houses, but this is a kind of a classic Nantucket cluster subdivision, would you say?
yes.
Taken from the Sconset Trust property, Ruddock Commons, just for your information.
Mm-hmm.
All the elements are so similar that it all just sort of looks like one big house.
I know it does, doesn't it? Okay, let's go back.
So we don't know which of those houses is the one that's getting the roof panels.
And this picture's from Ruddock Commons,
Yes,
so it's
looking to
Public.
the southeast.
Which is, I think, where they were putting them.
Yeah, I think it's that one under construction.
That would make sense.
Are they showing where they are on the roof? Is there a plan or elevation?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Oh, there it is. It is the new one. You're right. They took that from the road.
And they
not
took
from
that
Rutland
from
Commons.
Hydrangea Lane, correct?
Mhm.
And I'm not sure which, oh, there they are,
Ooh, quite a few.
south. South and west. Here's the south, there's the west, so this would be the south.
I do think that's the angle from your picture from Ruddock Commons. So these will be visible from Ruddock Commons.
Let me think. Yes. And so here are 3 shots from the Milestone Road, obviously in slightly wide angle, but woo. Yeah, I can see the town needs to update its GIS things. There's a lot more houses in there now.
So what are they? Are they on the south and west side? Or
Yes.
the,
So I
Yes,
would say they're not visible from Milestone would be my guess, but they're definitely visible from Ruddock Commons. So
yeah.
I don't.
so in that south elevation, wouldn't that be visible when you come up Hydrangea?
Yeah, actually, yes, I think so, Angus, because this was taken next door. From the next door. So they'd be visible there.
Every time this comes up, I just think there needs to be a place where people can invest in solar without covering their house with it. It's so convoluted.
Yeah.
I mean, for how many decades we've been driving by is it the Coffin property, that big expanse of land, and there's a farm and their solar collectors and a windmill and stuff
right.
off to the right as you head out of Sconset. And,
Yeah.
you know, I've always thought, great, you know, they're producing their own power. But, you know, that's kind of like, I don't think that was ever really applied for. And, you know, the more we have, the more applications we're going to have. So I think there really needs to be, you know, guidelines. Is this something that we're willing to trade the visual for? This isn't a historic neighborhood, but it is part of Sconset. It's not a historic house. I'm torn about it because I want to see solar. I wish it were in fields.
I don't want to see it in fields either, though. I want it low down so you don't see it. The point, I mean, I guess my point would be, I wish we had more to go on that it cannot be seen from a major road. I mean, obviously, Contuit Solar, Cotuit, however you pronounce it, is taking those pictures from Milestone Road, thinking that that's the only criteria, that it cannot be seen from a major road. Are there any other criteria we should be thinking about? Obviously, if it were in the historic district, this would be totally different, but yeah, I guess just to your point, Angus, what are the guidelines we're being told to consider this with? Because it's not historic, it's brand new.
Yeah.
And I mean, is Hydrangea Lane a private way? So that
I assume
south
so.
view that we see at the top of, you know, top of the view right now, and that being visible when you come up the street, is that fine because it's, you know, a private way?
Yeah. And the conservation land adjoining it is definitely quasi-public.
Where's the quasi part? It's public, isn't it?
Well, it is public, but it's owned private, it's owned by a nonprofit. So, I mean, it's sure, yeah, it's public. I mean, the town doesn't own it, but, and I'm just looking at the language. I'm not,
Yeah, well, I remember someone being denied because you could potentially see their solar panels from the footpath,
okay,
the Sconset Bluff path. Now, who owns that? I mean, I think it's Land Bank or town or whoever owned it, it was deeded to,
definitely a public way.
but definitely a public way.
Yeah. Well, I will make note of these notes because
Thank you.
like Angus said, it's, we don't have any trouble with solar. It's just, it's becoming there's a potential for it to be just clutter, but definitely want to keep the bigger picture in mind, but
You may have just noticed, Mary forwarded the guidelines on solar.
Oh,
So
no,
that
I
might be
didn't.
helpful for us to review.
Great. Thank you, Mary.
thank you very much, Mary.
Sure. And then, yeah, I don't know. I always think too about, a public way doesn't necessarily have to be something that's owned, that's owned by the public, right? It's a publicly traveled way that people can easily access.
Yeah,
That definition is always, yeah.
okay, yeah, good clarification. That doesn't,
Think.
okay, great. Is that all for this one? Anybody else like to comment on? All right, move to 14 Clifton. Okay, I just have to think a minute. I've got a lot of windows to go through here. This is a slow loading one. It's coming up.
You're doing a great job, Rob.
Thank you very much. There we go. This is a shed on Clifton. Are we seeing the application there?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Lowering the roof height. I don't know that we've seen this before.
Yeah, this is
at
this is
any
his-
height.
this is historic. A historic change.
Was it previously approved a foot taller? Is that the deal?
Possibly. It might have been previously approved, but it was never built.
Oh, I don't remember it. It looks like it's been built. Oh, existing. Yeah. Oh, that's the old shed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
17 feet.
So
Okay.
they're bringing it down a foot. It was 17. That's kind of high for a shed, but
The pitch seems rather steep for a shed. I would expect something more like 8 or 9 or maybe 10. It seems high. So previously approved. So
Yeah.
was that at 18 feet?
18, yes.
Well, thank you for coming back and making it 17 feet.
Yeah,
I don't remember reviewing this.
I don't either.
let me go back and see if there's something in the,
So this was on our docket for last week, but we didn't meet.
yes.
So maybe they didn't get to it, or did HTC ask for us to-
They didn't get to it.
Yeah. Well, it feels tall. I'd rather see it lower with a less of a pitch. But I'm happy to see that it's a foot lower than what was previously approved.
Yeah. My feeling exactly.
Yeah, I'd rather see those eaves come down to about door height and the pitch drop a little bit. But the elements, the windows, the doors, the roof, all that seem appropriate.
All right. So noted. Not terribly visible.
Did it look like
So is-
that house had an 11 pitch on the roof?
So, yeah, it's a steep pitch. But it's not going to be used as a garage, just a shed, because it would have to go, they'd have to move their driveway to the other side.
Yeah, it's true. There we go.
Yeah, sometimes the auxiliary buildings will echo the details of the main house. I wonder if that's where they got the pitch, but that pitch doesn't look like an 11 on the house. Looks
No, it doesn't.
like a 9 or a 10.
Okay. All right, good. Excellent. Any other comments? If not, we're going to move on to 9 Hawk Circle, which I have to find. Ooh. Loading, loading. Man, oh man.
I think I remember those being big files.
Yeah, they really are.
Now that you've got a new mouse and a new browser, how about new cable?
Sure, I'll take donations. Yeah, we've seen this whole thing quite a number of times. This time it's for solar and
That's not, that's a solar field, not a rooftop, correct?
that's correct. And it is,
Big.
it's big. The whole project's pretty big.
Mhm.
We had seen this before for the aprons and the parking area. And I believe that in this, what's on your screen now, this, I mean, that's not part of this application, but this is an older site plan because they asked them to cut back on the Belgian block there and also down here on the corner. So anyway, but this is the solar.
As long as it's screened in perpetuity,
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with it.
The neighbors will see it, but to the right and the bottom, kind of in that triangle corner.
yeah. Okay,
Well,
Mhm.
they're saying that it will not be visible at all from Hawks Circle. But I think it would be visible from the neighbors.
yeah, I would too. Okay.
So are we just writing down our concern about visibility from Stone Post Way or just the neighbors?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you guys were thinking that it would be visible.
From the neighbors, yeah, I don't know, one of them it would be Stone Post Road. The other one is on Hawk Circle, it's probably 11 Hawk Circle, I don't know, to the east of the house.
I haven't read what Mary sent us, but is that a consideration? The neighbors? Just asking. I mean, it
Well,
should be.
I mean, our concern is really what's visible, right? From a public
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Okay.
But we still have a new shed and a new garage in Hawk
Yep.
Circle.
Yep.
Maybe those are gonna, the neighbors will see those.
Okay, here's for the shed. Just be sure I got the right one. Yeah. So this is the southern end of the property.
How many houses are they allowed to have on this property?
Yeah, actually, I started to look into that and I recall the planning board said that no second dwellings were allowed, but I had the wrong street. It's the next one over.
Because
So,
they have a guest house, a garage.
yeah, the garage is, I think is the next application. So we're doing a shed
Oh.
here.
Mhm.
Let's see what it looks like. It sure looks like it's a garage, the way the driveway goes up to it, but and this is so it is a shed, but it's also a garage.
Mhm.
Okay,
And how tall is it?
that tall, 14.3.
14.
The 10 pitch.
That seems really tall for a shed. I mean, there are a lot of houses that are 14 feet tall.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Shit. They're showing a ramp here,
It looks like a bulkhead.
a bulkhead, yeah, but I don't see anything over here on the,
Look on the east elevation.
oh, it's a, oh, so it's got a full basement?
You got to wonder, packing a lot in that shed.
Oh, my.
Look at that, huh? Maybe it's the electric stuff for the solar. Well, that's interesting. Roof plan, first floor plan. Sure looks like it's got a basement under it.
Uh, my primary concern with it is just the scale of it. I would love to see that be a couple of feet shorter. Other than that, the details seem appropriate.
Yeah, I agree.
What does that say right there, Rob? Your bottom, the bottom thing, it says shed, and then what does that say with the split down the middle? Is that the basement?
That's the roof plan,
Oh, the roof plan. Thank
I
you.
believe.
Yes,
Yep.
I think you, yes, exactly.
Yeah, the bulkhead is
No indication of what's
in the
underneath the
back.
bulkhead.
Yeah, where does that go, right? Maybe it's a
Well, there are no
fall.
windows down there, so
Oops. Okay,
Wouldn't it be great if they were doing pool equipment in there?
yeah. Or a fallout shelter. Which. Okay, any other comments on this? I think, bringing it down would be great. Okay,
but it definitely looks like a garage. So I mean, once again, how many structures are allowed? Can we have two garages? I guess you can, I don't know.
yeah,
It's a zoning issue.
Yeah.
okay. Ugh. All right, now we'll go to the new garage.
Which is probably a guest house. I don't know.
Here comes the new garage. There it is in the other corner. I looked at this big diagonal line yesterday. It's, if you're wondering, it's 215 feet from the other lot line. Okay, oops, uh-oh.
What they have two driveways. So is it two lots? Only has one address, I guess. So
Yeah, I remember that question came up when the HDC heard it for these. This
For the-
was a Belgian block apron.
Mhm.
And I do recall they asked them to cut back on the space of the parking area.
Mm. Yeah, because guess what this looks like? A party house
Yep. Okay,
where you
there's,
can sleep. Is this the other garage? This looks like the same one.
it looks very similar, doesn't it? But this one has,
The other one was 12 feet wide. This one's 16.
Oh. And 17 and a half high.
yeah.
No bulkhead.
Yeah.
Be more involved to put a basement under the parking.
Yeah, you'll need some steel for that.
Oh, I would say the same comment, just height, preferably bringing it down a couple of feet.
Yeah.
The relation of the eave to the garage doors just seems awkward. High.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. So Angus, I'm just writing some notes. So it'd be better to bring the eave down to maybe the top of the door, like in the one over on Clifton that we just looked
Yeah.
at. Yeah. Yeah. One thing we don't get from these views is that I was over there the other day, and this lot is actually elevated quite a bit off the street. The guest house, which has been built, is quite tall, and it just appears even taller because when you look at it, you're sort of looking up at it. So I would think that you'd get the same effect with both the shed and the garage.
I think that's a good point to add on to the concerns about height.
Yeah. It's up a good 2 feet from the street, maybe even more. Just the way the lot is, or the way they cut the road, or. All right, good. All right, we'll move on to 7 King Street.
Good afternoon,
Oh, hi.
or good morning, I guess.
Lisa.
Not quite afternoon yet.
Getting there. Chair notes Lisa Botticelli is here. That's great. Lisa, well, if you would please tell us what we're looking at.
That elevation is we just added a guardrail, and I believe we removed another post. Same thing around the side. I'm just going to the same elevations you're looking at. We added the guardrail, removed some columns. The hipped porch roof became a shed, and we added a pergola. That's on the west. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that west view coming down King Street is a nice, that's a nice angle.
Good. And those are really the changes to the house. They were just sort of minor detail changes, and then adding the pergola.
Gotcha. Anybody want to go?
I think it
Clement?
looks nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it looks nice. That's no real comments.
So when we weren't able to meet, I sent in comments to Esmeralda to read in case this came up. I appreciate all the elements of this house that have been retained. And I don't really have any issues with the pergola or the change in the porch roof really. But as far as the columns and the guardrail, there are a number of houses that are the same vintage and around Sconset that one of the character defining elements of it is the spareness of the porch itself. Just it's being open, no guardrail, and the posts are really simple 4x4 posts that are as regular as they have to be, to hold it up. But it's all very light construction, and I feel like the rail changes the character of what has been, I think, carefully and sensitively maintained.
Okay.
The rail is ubiquitous with, almost all the houses happening. But this particular style is just, it's something that it doesn't show up in historically.
Well, my only comment would be that the porch is much bigger than it used to be, it was much lower to the ground. So, to have a railing on the porch that was there before, which faced King Street, would have been kind of historically not really relevant because it actually ended before the corner board. But now that we've continued it around, I think it's, the columns are still the same size as they were previously approved. There's less of them. So from that sense, the columns are lighter. I just think it is a slightly different house now because of the expansion of the porch than it had been historically. So that would be my only argument for having it be allowed. I mean, I still think it's simple. I know what you mean. It's adding more detail on a house that used to be very spare in terms of its detail on the porch, but the porch again is a very different element now than it was historically. That would be my only rationale, but.
Great. Great. Clement?
Yeah, no, I have no comments.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, great. Moving on to the shed.
It's just a shed in the back portion of the property.
Okay, let me find that. There we are. Hang on one sec. Let me. Okay. Everybody seeing this?
Yep.
Yes,
Okay,
I know.
great. So it's right there in the back.
That's right, that
Porch.
little zoning shed.
Yep, okay.
It has a porch that faces King Street on the south side, and then it's quite low, it's 13 feet 3 inches tall. And then there's doors on both sides and then windows on both ends. So it's basically, other than the porch, it's a completely symmetrical building.
I know a good place to put that one. Right up at 65 Sankaty Road.
It's it's cute. I feel like you know, a porch on a house makes total sense, and a shed with a porch makes sense for storage, but I doubt storage is happening here. So that's the only thing that's confusing to me about it. You know, it first glance, but it's a cute structure.
It's not that, it's not that big to, it's only 12 by 16, so there's not a whole lot you're gonna be doing in that building, but.
No,
think
it's,
the porch-
it's, yeah,
Go
it's
ahead,
where
Paul.
a barn used to be.
That's
And
right.
also it can be accessed from, by the property owners from both sides,
Mhm.
which is, I guess, why you wanted the doors on either side.
That's right.
So whatever they want to do in there, I think is fine. It is cute. It's interesting when you look at the, back at this and you look at how much bigger that porch has gotten on the main house. That's a good point, Lisa, that I didn't, you know, you don't see it when you don't see it from above, how
Yeah.
much more that porch is.
Right.
Great, okay.
Anything else?
Anybody have anything else? Otherwise, notes have been taken. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Lisa, thanks for coming.
Oh, no problem. Thanks.
Okay.
Leave.
All right, everybody. How we doing here? I think we've come to the end of our list, so I will take a motion to ratify the comments we've made so far.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Do I hear a second? I hear a motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. And
Motion to adjourn.
thank you very much. Do I
Second.
hear a second? Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
And,
you.
Thank you, Rob.
We'll see you around somewhere.
See you around
Angus,
the village.
oh, Angus, you are on Nantucket, I can tell. No, you're not.
I am.
Oh, okay, all right, good.
See you at the post office. Bye.
See you, Clement.